Om Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha.
Jai Sai Ram. Sai Satcharitra Chapter 3. Sai Baba's Sanction and Promise, Assignment of Work to Devotees, Baba's Stories as Beacon Light, His Motherly Love, Rohila's Story, His Sweet and Nectar-like Words. Sai Baba's Sanction and Promise. As described in the previous chapter, Sai Baba gave his complete assent to the writing of the Sat-Charita and said, I fully agree with you regarding the writing of Sat-Charita. You do your duty, don't be afraid in the least, steady your mind and have faith in my words. If my Leelas are written, the avidya, nescience, will vanish, and if they are attentively and devotedly listened to, the consciousness of the worldly existence will abate, and strong waves of devotion and love will rise up, and if one dives deep into my Leelas, he would get precious jewels of knowledge. Hearing this, author was much pleased, and he at once became fearless and confident, and thought that work was bound to be a success. Then turning to Shama, Madhvarav Deshpande, Sai Baba said, If a man utters my name with love, I shall fulfill all his wishes, increase his devotion. And if he sings earnestly my life and my deeds, him I shall beset in front and back and on all sides. Those devotees who are attached to me, heart and soul, will naturally feel happiness when they hear these stories. Believe me that if anybody sings my Leelas, I will give him infinite joy and everlasting contentment. It is my special characteristic to free any person who surrenders completely to me and who does worship me faithfully and who remembers me and meditates on me constantly. How can they be conscious of worldly objects and sensations, who utter my name, who worship me, who think of my stories and my life, and who thus always remember me? I shall draw out my devotees from the jaws of death. If my stories are listened to, all the diseases will be got rid of. So, hear my stories with respect, and think and meditate on them, assimilate them. This is the way of happiness and contentment. The pride and egoism of my devotees will vanish, the mind of the hearers will be set at rest, and if it has wholehearted and complete faith, it will be one with supreme consciousness. The simple remembrance of my name as Sai, Sai will do away with sins of speech and hearing. Different works assigned to devotees. The Lord entrusts different works to different devotees. Some are given the work of building temples and mats, or ghats, flight of steps on rivers. Some are made to sing the glories of God. Some are sent on pilgrimages, but to me was allotted the work of writing the Sat-Charita. Being a jack of all trades but master of none, I was quite unqualified for this job. Then why should I undertake such a difficult job? Who can describe the true life of Sai Baba? Sai Baba's grace alone can enable one to accomplish this difficult work. So, when I took up the pen in my hand, Sai Baba took away my egoism and wrote himself his stories. The credit of relating these stories, therefore, goes to him and not to me. Though Brahman by birth, I lacked the two eyes. I the sight or vision of Shruti and Smriti, and therefore was not at all capable of writing the Sat-Charita, but the grace of the Lord makes a dumb man talk, enables a lame man to cross a mountain. He alone knows the knack of getting things done as he likes. Neither the flute nor the harmonium knows how the sounds are produced. This is the concern of the player. The oozing of Chandrakant jewel and the surging of the sea are not due to the jewel and the sea but to the rise of the moon. Baba's stories as beacon light. Lighthouses are constructed at various places in the sea to enable the boatmen to avoid rocks and dangers and make them sail safely. Sai Baba's stories serve a similar purpose in the ocean of worldly existence. They surpass nectar in sweetness and make our worldly path smooth and easy to traverse. Blessed are the stories of the saints. When they enter our hearts through the ears, the body, consciousness or egoism and the sense of duality vanish, and when they are stored in the heart, doubts fly out to all sides, pride of the body will fall, and wisdom will be stored in abundance. The description of Baba's pure fame and the hearing of the same with love will destroy the sins of the devotee, and therefore, this is the simple sadhana for attaining salvation. The sadhana for Krita age was Shamdama, tranquility of mind and body, for Treta age, sacrifice, for Dwapara, worship, and for Kali, present age, it is singing of the name and glory of the Lord. This last sadhana is open to all the people of the four varnas, Brahmans, etc. The other sadhanas, viz. Yoga, Yajna, sacrifice, Dhyana, meditation, and Dharana, concentration, are very difficult to practice, but singing and hearing the stories and the glory of the Lord, Sai Baba, is very easy. We have only to turn our attention towards them. The listening and singing of the stories will remove the attachment to the senses and their objects and will make the devotees dispassionate and will ultimately lead them to self-realization. With this end in view, Sai Baba made me or helped me to write his stories, Satcharita. The devotees may now easily read and hear these stories of Sai Baba, and while doing so, meditate on him, his form, and thus attain devotion to Guru and God, Sai Baba, get detachment and self-realization. In the preparation and writing of this work, Satcharitamrita, it is Sai Baba's grace which has accomplished everything, making use of me as a mere instrument. Motherly love of Sai Baba. Everybody knows how a cow loves her infant calf. Her udder is always full, and when the calf wants milk and dashes at the udder, out comes the milk in an unceasing flow. Similarly, a human mother knows the wants of her child and feeds it at her breast in time. In case of dressing and adorning the child, the mother takes particular care to see that this is well done. The child knows or cares nothing about this, but the mother's joy knows no bounds when she sees her child beautifully dressed and adorned. The love of mother is peculiar, extraordinary and disinterested, and has no parallel. Sadgurus feel this motherly love towards their disciples. Sai Baba had this same love towards me, and I give an instance of it below. In 1916 AD, I retired from government service. The pension that was settled in my case was not sufficient to maintain my family decently. On Guru Purnima, 15th of Ashadha, day of that year, I went to Shri with other devotees. There, Mr. Anna Chinchanikar, of his own accord, prayed to Baba for me as follows: please look kindly on him, the pension he gets is quite insufficient, his family is growing. Give him some other appointment, remove his anxiety and make him happy. Baba replied, he will get some other job, but now he should serve me and be happy. His dishes will be ever full and never empty. He should turn all his attention towards me and avoid the company of atheists, irreligious and wicked people. He should be meek and humble towards all and worship me heart and soul. If he does this, he will get eternal happiness. The question who is this he, whose worship is advocated, is already answered in a note on who is Sai Baba in the prologue at the beginning of this work. Rohila's story. The story of the Rohila illustrates Sai Baba's all-embracing love. One Rohila, tall and well-built, strong as a bull, came to Shirdi, wearing a long kafni robe, and was enamored of Sai who stayed there. Day and night he used to recite in a loud and harsh tone kalma, verses from Holy Quran, and shout Allahu Akbar, God is great. Most people of Shirdi were working in their fields by day, and when they returned to their homes at night, they were welcomed with the Rohila's harsh cries and shouts. They could get no sleep and felt much trouble and inconvenience. They suffered in silence this nuisance for some days, and when they could stand it no longer, they approached Baba and requested him to check the Rohila and stop the nuisance. Baba did not attend to their complaint. On the contrary, Baba took the villagers to task and asked them to mind their own business and not the Rohila. He said to them that the Rohila had got a very bad wife, a Zantippi, who tried to come in and trouble the Rohila and himself, but hearing the Rohila's prayers, she dared not enter and they were at peace and happy. In fact, the Rohila had no wife, and by his wife Baba meant Durbuddhi, i.e. bad thoughts. As Baba liked prayers and cries to God better than anything else, he took the side of the Rohila and asked the villagers to wait and suffer the nuisance, which would abate in due course. Baba's sweet and nectar-like words. One day at noon after the Aarti, devotees were returning to their lodgings when Baba gave the following beautiful advice. Be wherever you like, do whatever you choose, remember this well that all what you do is known to me. I am the inner ruler of all and seated in their hearts. I envelope all the creatures, the movable and immovable world. I am the controller, the wire puller of the show of this universe. I am the mother origin of all beings, the harmony of three gunas, the propeller of all senses, the creator, preserver and destroyer. Nothing will harm him who turns his attention towards me, but Maya will lash or whip him who forgets me. All the insects, ants, the visible, movable and immovable world is my body or form. Hearing these beautiful and precious words, I at once decided in my mind to serve no man henceforward, but my Guru only. But the reply of Baba to Anna Chinchanikar's query, which was really mine, that I would get some job began to revolve in my mind, and I began to think whether it would come to happen. As future events showed, Baba's words came true, and I got a government job, but that was of short duration. Then I became free and solely devoted myself to the service of my Guru Sai Baba. Before concluding this chapter, I request the readers to leave out the various hindrances viz. Indolence, sleep, wandering of mind, attachments to senses, etc. and turn their whole and undivided attention to these stories of Sai Baba. Let their love be natural, let them know the secret of devotion, let them not exhaust themselves by other sadhanas, let them stick to this one simple remedy, i.e. listening to Sai Baba's stories. This will destroy their ignorance and will secure for them salvation. A miser may stay at various places, but he always thinks of his buried treasure. So let Sai Baba be enthroned in the hearts of all. In the next chapter, I shall speak of Sai Baba's advent in Shirdi. But to Shri Sai peace be to all.